perverted, narcissistic, and most importantly, completely pointless. Come waste an hour of your week with The Starting Block, Friday nights Australian time at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. Get in touch with us on Twitter at The Starting Block, no K at the end. Also, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes by searching for The Starting Block, all one word, or on Podbean at startingblock.podbean.com. Join the blockheads, tuning in their millions, right around the world.
You're listening to The Starting Block on tavshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We have got fucking story times out the ass. We've got On the Gear, we've got political woof woof bars, we've got disrespect, we've got wag updates, all that and much, much more here on the block.
Standing tall on the wings of my dream. Rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Rain and thunder, the wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. My life, my dream, nothing's gonna stop me now.
It's Greeno here from The Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok, and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is tavshow.com's gain. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to the starting block for another week. You've got myself, Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who's very disappointed that his counter-offer to purchase Twitter for $1.80 and the original full collection of Tarzos got knocked back. My co-captain, Damo, how are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. Good evening to you, boys, girls, listenership out there. Fuckheads, how are you? Doing well? Yep.
Blockheads, millions. Don't forget Blockheads, millions.
Oh, around the world, Greeno. Millions of them around the world.
That's the one.
Yep.
Exactly.
So, Big Daddy Elon, Greeno, the man of Tesla, the SpaceX man, he's purchased Twitter, and well, you know, it's working. I guess there's a grace period. There's like is there a cool down period in the purchase of a Twitter, like there is, say, like a house? Do you think?
I think so. I think, yeah, especially when you put over 44 bill, you've got like 2 weeks cooling off period.
Yep.
So you might just have a bit of a feel around, see what it's about, and then like, oh nah, I might keep my 44 bill.
Greeno, have you noticed that there's a tremendous amount of anger on Twitter at the moment because of this purchase by Elon Musk? And I have
Does anyone know who actually currently owns Twitter?
I think it's just more people. Like, I guess no one really knows who owns it. Like, you could look into it, and it's probably like this company has 8%, and this holding company.
I think it's Saudi. I think it's Saudi billionaires.
Yeah, but do they wholly own it? I'm not sure. I think it's a collection of people. Like, they have shares, obviously. Someone owns 8% or 15%. I mean, because he just bought an 8% share, didn't he? Before he went for this buyout. Yeah. But anyway. All these angry people, Greeno, and I have this theory. I reckon that if Elon had have handed over like one of those oversized novelty checks when he purchased Twitter, I think that would have been a totally different environment. I think everyone would have been kind of pleased with that, don't you think?
Like a ribbon cutting, perhaps.
Yeah. Like hand over the big check and smile and shake Jack Dorsey's hand. We'll get Jack up there. Like if we can get him off the heroin long enough to drag him up on stage, give him a haircut and a fucking shave, obviously. I mean, Jack, you can't go out looking like that, mate. We can't allow you to go on
quality
TV.
Pun unintended there, dragging him up on stage.
And big handshake, hand over the big check. All right, here we go. Now, this is the dawn of Elon. But unfortunately, because there's so many idiots out there, Greeno, now it's very dangerous. This is a very dangerous thing that's happening. I mean, are you afraid? You probably should be.
Mate, I think people can still post their stupid comments as frequently as they already do. I don't think much is really gonna change.
No.
I think it's still going to be an overall platform of stupidity and dickhead comments. I think that's the key crux of Twitter. How many dickhead comments can you put up there? That'll still be the key parameters of Elon under the new Twitter banner.
I mean, don't you think it's going to be great, Greeno, to see the space, the space rockets of the future will be built by Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, and they'll have like Twitter branding on the side of them. Don't you think that'll be special? Hashtag, yeah, you can put hashtags on the rockets now.
Hashtag on the back of the rocket.
That's
right.
No,
hashtag rocket looks like a cock. Something like that. Yeah. Fucking whatever works. We've been away for a little while. We need a since you've been gone. Can you hit a since you've been gone for us, please, sir?
Yeah. I think I could say I'm so rusty, Greeno. It's been so long. How long has it been? I've got to say.
Rust. 4 weeks. We're in off 4 weeks.
4 weeks. Okay. Where is it?
We hit a since you've been gone.
Got to get back in the swing.
So kimono pull for our 6 listeners. The first week
6.
we were originally going to.
The good one, mate.
Lucky.
6.
If we could. Well, that includes family and ourselves listening back to the podcast.
One can dream, Greeno. One day, maybe.
You get to 6. Now, the first week I had to skip the show because Greeno was too drunk from opening day / the start of the F1 Melbourne weekend. So we decided to bin the show. We're like halfway through the day. I'm like, look, been a big day. You've been drinking all day. You've been watching baseball. You were watching F1 as well. We decided to bin that show.
Well, can I just
I like
interrupt
stories about pinatas.
Yeah.
And, just put a little, let's put a little bit of perspective on it. Let's put a little bit of, two sides on this coin, Greeno. So that was that was the way you experienced that moment. The way I experienced it and the way that actually happened was I said to Greeno, look, I'm still struggling with this fucking internet thing, and we will get to the internet, don't worry. But I'm still struggling with this internet thing. It's cutting out every 10 minutes. This has happened before, remember, but it used to last maybe an hour if you're lucky, and then I'd have to reset everything and then start again. But this time around, it was cutting out every fucking 10 minutes or something. And I said to Greeno, look, I don't know what's going on. And his reply was, and I'm going to be pretty close to accurate, something along the lines of, let's say, just can it now and let's hit the fucking cans. Okay.
That was correct.
Now, I didn't know that you were already on the cans when you said this. I had no idea.
That quote is verbatim. Literally, it was, look, let's just call it now and get on the cans.
Get on the
correct.
cans.
Look, I had been on the cans for a couple of hours prior to that. I was still ready to do the show. The show had been written. I'd seen you the rundown the day before. Yeah. So it wasn't like, Greeno's just fucking getting on the sauce and didn't want to do the show. No. The show was written. I'd done the fucking hard work by like sending through a rundown we ignore anyway. And then, halfway through the day, I'm like, look, if the internet's not working and I'm already fucking half cut, let's just fucking call it a day. Yeah. We're all good. Yeah. Now, that was week 1. So we had to can the show there. Now, week 2, Jesus got in the way again. Turned out to be Good Friday, which just fucks it for everyone.
Yeah.
Very disappointing there.
Now, why couldn't we do a show on Good Friday? Because you called that one. I had no part in the cancellation of the Good Friday show. I just accepted it because you were like, oh, we can't do a show this week because it's Good Friday. And I was like, oh, okay. So why? Because I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. Like, okay, it's cool. I guess a weekend off. But I didn't know that, what was your reasoning behind no Good Friday? I mean, they're playing football out there on Good Friday now.
Yep. Reasoning being Greeno starts drinking at midday at the folks' place on Good Friday. By the time I eventually got home, fully cut, couldn't do the show.
Too pissed to do the show. So this is 2 weeks in a row now, too smashed to get on the mic.
Well, hear me out. No, realistically, I was still at my family's place on Good Friday, so I wasn't home to do the show.
You could have remoted in, Greeno. Yeah. We could have remoted in.
If I had gotten home, would have been fucking way too cut because I've been drinking sauce, my old man, since 11 a.m. Then week 3 was last week, and then you give us a little bit of a text message going, look, internet, fucking bug it. Like, it's no good. We're back to 1990s early vintage dial-up where we've got to wait 45 minutes for tit to load. That is too long to see a nipple. We can't have it, and if we can't see a nipple in that time, we can't do a show.
Loading dirty pictures line by agonizing line. like a perverted typewriter. You would just see the lines go the picture would slowly filter. Oh man. See, you young kids, you've got no idea how much patience you needed back in the day to masturbate.
So much time.
And
you couldn't masturbate off a screen because there wasn't enough time to masturbate. You had to print the photos on a Xerox.
On a black and white printer.
A black and white printer. It's just a black and white shit a la SBS. And an old black and white TV.
And then you whacked it on your floppy disk, mate. Took it off to school.
It was the good old days where you had to jerk off to a Target magazine of women in lingerie. Like, it was the good old.
Every now and then you'd get lucky at like the train station. If you just say you had to go to TAFE or something, Greeno, like Inner West or some shit, you have to do one of those short, annoying train rides, Mm-hmm. And every now and then you get lucky and find like some, British one with page 3 girls and shit in it that was just left on a seat, and you'd be like, yeah, but it's what I used to always think was, okay, why is it this thing is always here at say like 6 a.m? So was it left here by someone who was riding the train at like 1 a.m? And were they just riding the train alone, reading this page through? And then exactly. So then, because your first instinct would be to go to pick up the magazine, but once you realise where it's been all that night, you don't even want to sit in the same carriage.
You don't. Back in the 90s, you did not want to pick up a magazine, any magazine off a train.
No strays.
Not pre-instant. No, that's no good. You better wear some gloves. Better get the domestos out.
Yep.
Good to go. Which brings us to this week. Finally, we're back up and running. Yeah. Which brings us to Boogie story time.
I like stories about pinatas.
For the last couple of weeks with the shitty internet.
Oh, mate, you've got no idea. Now, we won't mention the internet service provider, of course, because that would be...
Yes, we will not mention the service provider. Yes, we will not.
Yes. And like, yes would be something that comes to mind, if you asked who is the service provider, obviously I might think, yes, I want to tell you who it is, but unfortunately.
But yes, we're not going to do it.
That's right. Yes, we never will. So
Yeah.
anyway, we've had this issue ongoing, like we just mentioned before, Greeno, with, it used to last about an hour and then cut out. It started going off around 10 minutes. And when these issues have become so regular, like when it starts happening, I'm like, oh, here we go again. It's going to be like another week without service. But this is, this has been going on for like a few months. So anyway, this company, and yes, they are a phone company, more or less.
Yes. They are. Yeah.
Yes. And so, they have one of these options, Greeno, which I'm sure you're a big fan of. It's when you have a tech issue, we want you to use our app and get into a live chat with someone.
Hey, Matt, how you go?
Yeah.
What's problem?
Mm.
We discuss.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Now, using these chat options when it comes to customer service, I think, to be fair, would probably be like a 50-50 thing out there in society, because I think a lot of people prefer it to talking to people on the phone, and other people prefer talking to people.
If you're speaking to someone that you can understand on the phone, excellent. Yes, I prefer to go that option. The app thing is fine, but personally, I've only ever seen one resolution in my experience on one of those app platforms.
Well, I had one. It was a story time last year, remember, with the grog from Dan Murphy's.
Yeah, Dan Murphy's. That's right.
Yeah, free grog out of the deal. I mean, you can't knock that back. So that was a good app experience, and I wasn't expecting anything either. I was expecting
that was a positive app experience. That was Christmas time, there. Festive spirit, sir.
There's
no festivity with the Yes Company anymore.
Yeah, this was only Easter, unfortunately. So obviously it doesn't have the same kind of religious connotations, does it, as Christmas, unfortunately.
Crucified your service.
Yeah. I mean, Christmas, the birth of Santa Claus, Greeno. I mean, it's so important for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm new. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll give this app a try. So I log in, and now I've tried this thing before, and I'm not expecting much. The issue with this particular app is every single time you go in there, first you're greeted by a digital assistant, Greeno.
Love the digital assistant. Quick question for you, sir.
Yeah.
How are you able to get on to the app if you have no internet service?
Well, see, no. So what I was missing was like my broadband. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's what wasn't working. So still had like mobile coverage.
Okay.
Yeah, but no broadband. So, I'm on this app. Every single time you log in, you get you get greeted with this digital assistant that just picks key words out of what you say and then tries to place you in the right queue, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And
internet fucked.
Yeah, and it's hit or miss at best. Okay, this thing.
Like we'll put you in the fucked queue.
Yeah, and on mind you, this is like a huge company here. All right, like yes they really are. They're a massive company. So it struggles to place you in the right place, but okay, I understand. Then you're put through to, one of their human staff who will solve your issue after that point.
Human offshore staff, you mean, sir?
That's right. Now, every single time you log into this thing, it puts you through to whoever's available. So that means quite literally, every single So if you're saying something like, say, 3 hours apart, the 3 hours later, when it reconnects you, it's probably going to reconnect you to somebody else. And then you'll get a little message saying we're reviewing the account, but they never really do, Greeno, because they all say the same thing.
It's also 3 a.m. in India.
Wherever it is, I don't know.
No one wants to work, really.
So, you get the kind of same responses repeated over and over and over again. Now, it got to the point, we're now like a week into this thing, okay? Technicians have been called. A technician shows up. Okay, everything's good. It's working. It's great.
At this point, I mean, interrupt, but at this point, you just fucking want the bloke to come out to your house.
Yeah.
And look at it. I don't care if he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I just feel more personally, I feel more comfort if there's a dude there who looks at shit. Like, I feel if he's there and he's like fiddling with wires and looking at stuff, I don't care if he's not actually achieving anything. I feel like something's been accomplished, opposed to like, oh, yeah, we're looking at it in the background, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt. Continue with your story.
No, you're 100% spot on because, I knew already that it wasn't that kind of an issue. I knew already that there was something wrong from their end, and the reason that I knew that was because, like, on their services, you know how you can look up downs, like when a particular area is down? Now, mine was down
Yeah.
solidly for like 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, all I kept, mind you, now this is a span of over a week and a half interacting with people on this app. Okay. And I'm getting very, very cynical about it by the end of the week and a half. Don't get me wrong.
The apps are done. Yeah.
Okay. So, but the one question I keep asking these poor staff members is, look, I just need to know when it's going to be fixed. Okay.
Nice,
just can you provide some kind of time frame and let me know? Like, I understand that there's issues and there's people looking into things and that's all wonderful, but can you just provide some kind? Because I said every single time you give me a time window, it fucks up again. So I just wanted, like, this time, is this the one that it's going to work? And I just could not get I could not get an answer, Greeno. For 2 weeks, could not get it. And you know, that drives me fucking nuts. Like, just tell me then that you can't give me a direct answer, but they can't do that. Yeah. You see?
No, that's a part of the playbook.
Yeah, right.
So they get their script and they're like, just say this, and then we fucking move on. Yeah.
So anyway, this like a weekend, technicians have been called. It's like, all right, mate, you're all good to go. And I'm like, beautiful. It works for 26 minutes.
Nice,
okay. 26 minutes. It's gone again.
Yeah.
We get back in touch again, get through to a different person again. And like I say, and you know, I'm in there and I say something like, look, I'm going to stop using this app now because it's kind of pointless. Because, you know, we're not really solving anything. You can't answer any questions and we're just kind of going around in circles. You keep asking me the same thing. So this is a little bit of a waste of time. And this was the first time I got an instant reply, Greeno. I haven't had an instant reply on this thing since I stared fucking using it.
You've used a key word. It's gone to the right queue.
Now, this is where I'm going to give this particular company.
You've gone to the pointless clue. The queue, the right queue.
That's
the
right.
Pointless queue.
The pointless queue. Well, this is where I'm going to give this particular company, Greeno, despite, you know, the frustration and the rage caused by this terrible, terrible service for so long. I have to give them one of these.
Nice, Gary!
And a bit of tip of the hat because they have such balls, Greeno, that this reply that I got after sending that straight away was something to the effect of, thank you so much for using our service. Can you please take this survey?
Nice, Gary!
I swear to God.
Mate.
Because I said, look, I'm going to stop using this app. They didn't hesitate. They just jumped straight in and said, thank fuck, that's over. Like, here's a survey. And I wrote something like, is this a joke? And then I was put back to the digital assistant again.
Nice, Gary!
No, that's that's not a dick move. That is a fucking nice Gary. That's someone trolling you right there.
That is service so terrible, you have to respect it.
Let's make him fill in a survey. Like, if you displeased, sir, fuck it. Here you go. Here's 12 questions. Go nuts. We can ignore it anyway and put you back to our digital assistant. That's great. Well done.
Right? Well done.
I'm happy with that.
Nice, Gary!
That's my story.
I like stories about pinatas.
So we're back
It's
now.
fixed now. That's the important thing.
Yeah, it's working now.
Interesting. You were talking about that situation. It reminds me of back when I was at my old joint. A similar fucking story, different service provider, but same thing. Fucking back and forth. Like, they sent me new modems. They sent me all these things. They came out. They checked it. They said, oh no, it's because you've got two telephone connections. So I got them to disconnect one of the telephone connections, even though it was a rental property. I'm like, fuck it, just get rid of the other one. Don't worry about it.
So it was like a situation. Someone had like a bedroom phone or something as well as the house
there was like a phone in the kitchen and the phone in the lounge.
Remember those days? How many people still have fucking phones, Greeno? Do you have one? We don't have one.
No, I got rid of it because firstly, the only people that called me on that were scammers. So I just
at dinner time. Scammers at dinner time. That's the only people who use fucking house phones.
I've got a home phone number. I don't have a phone, so I've never bothered to use it. But anyway. So after like 6 months of my internet fucking up, new modems being sent, like I got about $400 worth of free, like, awesome Wi-Fi modems. Yeah. Only for it to turn out that there was actually an issue of the entire suburb. That there was like a wire loose somewhere in my suburb, and it was fucking up everyone's internet. Right. So old mate, who finally came out to my house, fixed the wire in the whole suburb, and magically the internet was fixed.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary!
And this is the
Literally,
thing,
mate,
like it was for weeks and weeks and weeks, probably. You know,
Yeah.
this bullshit.
100%. I went through exactly what you did.
Yeah.
I went digital assistant. I had people come out to my house.
Yeah.
I had online stuff. I had like speed tests, new modems. I test this. I download this, upload this, blah, blah, blah. No. It was something wrong with the overall suburb.
Mhm.
And they must have just realized after like 100 calls from all of my old suburb, oh, maybe we should go look at that. And then like, there's enough abuse calls.
How come we didn't know about the internet outage? Apparently, there's one wire that's gone loose, and the whole suburb can't get there. How come we didn't know about this? It's like, oh, it's all right. Our digital assistant is taking care of it.
All good.
Yeah, our Terminator fucking customer service Terminator bot is taking care of them. Don't worry. 80% of them commit suicide before the resolution is fixed, so we never need to chase it up. And the other 20%, well, that they'll just get what they're given, Greg.
Nice, Gary.
Exactly.
And I love it.
Damo, it's time for Greeno. I don't like to do this. I have to do it occasionally, but Greeno's going to do some politics here, sir.
Oh no, you're going to do politics.
Nah, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. We've got the election happening here, and I've been paying close attention to the election this time. And what I've realised is because what I've never actually thought about in the context of an election is this is a job interview. All right, so you basically got a bunch of people rocking up, going, "I want this job. I want to be prime minister. Fucking have a look at me. Here's my resume." And this 6-week bullshit that we've got to deal with is the job interview, right?
Okay.
Now,
Can I just say though, like that's a fair statement, and I have heard it before. But how about let me throw something else at you here, Greeno?
Mhm.
I think a little bit of a twist on that. I think political collections are less like a job interview, perhaps, and more like, say, those trashy internet forums where people are like, rate my nudes. They post their nudes, and then the people in the forum will like rate them. Okay, I give you a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10, or whatever. I think it's more like that. So you have the two people, like you see, like the absolute dirtiest, the most stripped down, because it's fucking savage, isn't it? And it's brutal. And it's just constant fucking attacks from all sides. So that's more what it's like. It's like throwing in. If it was a job interview, it'd be much more pleasant experience, politics. It'd be a lot more rational.
This has got me thinking, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe I've been approaching job interviews incorrectly. Because this is a job interview for the highest job in the land, or aside from Governor General, who technically
and
is in
captain
charge.
and captain of the Australian cricket team, of course.
Australian cricket team. No dick pics here.
No.
So basically, I thought, look, I need to reassess my approach because I might need to look for a new job one day. And what I'm looking forward to is taking what I like to refer to as the election approach to future job interviews.
All right.
So we'll kind of run through a bit of a role play, if we will. Okay. So Greeno rocks up to a job interview, and they're like, "Look, can you tell us a bit about yourself, there, Greeno?" And I'm like, "Mate, the other guy, shit cunt." I'm sorry. No, we want you to talk about yourself and what do you think about the job? No, this guy over here, the other guys that are applying, shit cunts. Fuck them. Shit.
Okay,
Not
Mr. Greeno, that's Mr. Greeno. That's lovely.
Shit cunts.
Mr. Greeno.
Shit cunts.
Mr. Greeno, if I could.
No, that's not. No, if I can finish my thought. Shit cunts.
If I could just please, sir, if we could just ask you about the budget, sir.
No, the budget. Budget. Oh, sorry. Are you asking me a question about the budget? Well, look, I've got some thoughts about the budget. There's questions I'd like to say about that particular question. But instead of answering that question, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit there and rattle off some stuff that is not in any relation to the question you're asking me in said job interview.
Right.
And I want to tell you what I'm going to want to talk about. Okay. And then when you come back to me at the end of my fucking waffle on, I'm then going to say, thank you for your time and walk away.
Yeah. So there you go. So there you go. You step in front of the camera and you say, rate my policy, bro.
Nice, Gary.
Yeah. So a quick user's guide for anyone applying for a job in the future based on the political principles and election principles. If they ask you a question, ignore said question and just walk away.
Just walk away. So you walk your interview tactic using the election method is to walk out of the interview.
Walk away from the interview.
When you get asked the question.
when you got to ask a question, because
Okay.
you're going to walk in and you're going to bombard them with a statement that you want them to hear.
Yes.
And then when they ask you a question, which may potentially impact your ability to do said job,
Yes.
you're just going to walk away.
Walk out of there.
And you will do that repeatedly.
Yeah.
If you come back for first interview, second, third interview, you do that. Now
You're
the
gonna
other
you're gonna
option-
you're gonna tell the people who are interviewing you, Greeno. You're gonna tell them
Mhm.
basically, you're gonna act like you're better than them. Okay, that's also part of the election
No.
method. Like they're while they're sitting and listening to you.
No.
No.
Well, the
While they're
interviewer-
sitting and listening to you, you're
Yeah.
standing in front of them. You're like, now listen, I'm going to take control here. I've got promises and I'm going to keep them, and we're going to make some cuts around this place, okay? Because,
Exactly.
that's the way you treat an interview. You start telling the boss what you're going to do from the interview,
Exactly.
and that's how you get people on side, Grant, because people love being told what to do.
Exactly. And when it comes to references, instead of references, it's just pamphlets of other candidates shit cunts.
Shit cunts.
That's
just
shit cunts. That's it.
that's your interview slogan for the day.
That's the Greeno's election tips for how to process every job interview in the future. Now, I'm intrigued as to how many jobs that would work for. Out of interest. The one that seems to work for is the fucking Prime Minister of Australia.
That's right.
Every other job, though,
'Cause
you're
it's important.
probably going to be shit out of luck.
You don't reckon
So
it'll
there you
work?
go.
You don't reckon it'll work at, say, if you're going for the job at the drive-through at Macca's, Greeno? That won't. The election
Mate,
tactic won't work.
I've spoken to Jimmy in the fucking out the front. Jimmy's up next. I saw him jerking off all over the fucking patties. Like, he's a shit cunt.
He's a
We
shit
can't have
cunt.
him in there. Jimmy the shit cunt. We can't have Jimmy the shit cunt in here. That's the interview for a Macca's interview.
All right. Well, how about this, Greeno? I want to expand on the election interview theory. What if you brought a dog to the interview, Greeno? Would that work?
Oh, now we're talking. We got political woof woof wahs.
Yep, there he is, the great Scott Morrison. Because we have this theory here on this show that whenever you're in trouble in a public image sense, there's two go-to options that are repeatedly used. Now, we picked this up in the sports media, right? But it's
many years ago.
many
It stayed
years
true.
ago. Yeah, we found this trend because, like, luckily for us at the time doing our little radio show, rugby league was providing us a lot of content, Greeno, back in the day.
Weekly woof woof wahs on the Sunday paper. It was Sundays.
Our
peak
professional
upbeats.
football, basically, if you're in the States, the rugby league is our professional football league. And, every weekend there was something like, a footy player would knock out a taxi driver drunk at the fucking, at a club or something. Somebody got shot at. There was something going on every weekend. It was fucking magical.
Yeah.
And so we found this fucking trend. Whenever there was that kind of story breaking, then we would just pick up the Sunday papers on our way to the radio station, have a couple of Red Bulls and read a paper or two, and we'd see these these stories, these fluff pieces with these football stars. They would have Greeno either a baby or a fucking puppy next to them.
Puppy. Woof woof wahs. Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. And the story would be like, the tender side of X, right?
Oh, the lesbian.
Exactly. And it would have quotes from his fiance about what a great guy he is, and it would show him rolling around with the puppies laying on him. And this would happen fucking over and over and over. And now it's bled Greeno into the political realm. And isn't it good to see? Look at that.
It's good to see when ScoMo's looking at these poll numbers. She's like, look, we can't do the fucking the babies just yet.
No.
Fucking the what? The woof woofs.
Yeah.
We need to get the woof woofs, and he's done it subliminally. I like it.
Yeah.
He's kind of gone underhanded. He hasn't gone front page. He hasn't gone Sunday paper lifestyle section.
Yeah.
He's gone his Facebook profile pic.
He's gone the Paris Hilton approach of dog ownership, which is to put it in a little handbag and carry it around and make sure you get its photo taken, Greeno.
Now, here's the thing. If you are Scott Morrison's two kids, are you feeling a little bit shitty right now? Because Dad's got the option here.
Dad likes the dogs better.
I can either put my two kids in this picture or the woof woofs. And he's chosen the woof woofs over the kiddos.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I'd like to see his grown children sitting on their laps in that photo instead of the dog, Greeno. That'd be a nice touch. Have the kids sitting there. G'day. There you go. Yeah. Look, I think
This
that's
is what-
fantastic. I think this,
It's good.
I think it's fantastic, the puppies and the babies. But look, I'm not Scott Morrison's biggest fan, but the one thing I'll give him is, he really does bring out the best in other people, Greeno, I think. And I want to show you a couple of examples here in the replies to this, okay? Because this is where I've
a bit of shit kind of replies.
well, I've always thought that the real joy of Twitter is in the replies, because this is where
It's all the replies.
Well,
you don't want the stories, you want the replies.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Well, this is where all of the dumbest people funnel, Greeno, into the replies of tweets, and it's glorious. All the dumbest people on the internet are right here at our fingertips, and we can
this is
observe
Facebook,
them
not
like
Twitter,
an
isn't
ant
it?
farm. Hey?
Is this Twitter or Facebook?
Well, so no, someone's put this on Twitter, but it's a
This
photo
is-
from
this is a-
Facebook.
This is Facebook. Yeah, okay, cool.
Right. But he's tweeted it out. Now, have a look at some of these replies, Greeno. Now, this one in particular really got me. It said, "We should be lucky that Jenny," now Jenny is Scott Morrison's wife, okay?
Whenever ScoMo fucks up,
Yeah.
he refers to Jenny. He's like, no, Jenny's got it covered.
Yes. Jenny's in
So
there.
whenever he gets in deep shit, he's like, no, go see Jenny.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't be the first. Now, we would call that, Greeno, the Bill Clinton method.
Bill Clinton, you fucking read my mind, sir. Like, that's the Clinton principle, right?
That's
you
right.
always divert to your wife.
Yeah. Well, that's how she rescued his public image by standing by his side in those. Remember all those painfully awkward fucking 60-minute interviews and stuff.
Oh, brutal. So brutal.
Yeah. So anyway, here's this comment, Greeno. Now look at this. "We should be lucky that Jenny isn't making the white supremacy symbol again." And they've linked another tweet. Get this, Greeno, from 2019. Okay. And
Well, that's not too far ago. It's not like it's fucking 2010.
okay,
Like,
it's 3
that's
years
recently.
ago. Okay, it's
But
3
if we're
years
talking
ago.
about the white, is this a stupid thing where someone happens to like put their thumb and their
Yes, the
their
okay
forefinger
sign.
together?
Yes, the okay sign.
That's an okay sign, or it's people resting their fucking fingers.
Well, it's not even an okay sign on this occasion. She's kind of
No, she's holding her
holding.
daughter's hand.
She's holding her
For Christ's
daughter's
sake.
wrist there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is not a white supremacy. Like, okay, once again, similar to you, I'm fucking in no way, shape, or form a ScoMo fan. That's dumb cunt territory, right?
It's dumb cunt. That's shit cunt territory, Greeno.
That's shit, yeah, I wouldn't say shit cunt. I'd say dumb cunt.
Okay,
Because
but
shit cunt is different. Dumb cunt is like you've got fucking no brain
Yeah.
and you were trying to make a point out of fucking nothing. That's dumb cunt.
well, this is
Shit cunt is just you're just a shit bloke, but you're a cunt as well. Like they're two different. Like this one's more dumb cunt because this is just dumb.
Well,
It makes
again,
no sense.
this is kind of like the hidden glory of Scott Morrison. It's that in the replies section, anything that he's involved with, you find the dumbest people in the replies. Like I swear to God, I'm not being political about that. That's just being
No,
like,
it's not political.
No.
There's a lot of fucking stupidity out there.
yeah,
Correct.
we're professional Twitter observers here. We don't interact much. We just watch what you're doing. You know what I mean? So, why is Jenny Morrison, the wife of the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison, giving a white power hand gesture? This photo was tweeted by the Liberal Party. Has anyone explained this? Yes, you're an idiot, Greeno. That's the explanation. And now look, they're posting close-ups of it. We're still waiting for clarification from the Liberal Party for the hand gesture. I mean, these people are nuts, mate. These people are fucking
That is
insane.
insane.
Oh, mate. Can I have a picture? No. This strikes me as so insecure. I mean, white people control the whole Australian government. What are they afraid of? Like, what is going on? See
At
how
what
quickly
point-
things spiral out of control. Like, look,
Who put
that's
someone in
why.
charge of hand gestures? Did I miss a? To quote Dennis Leary, did I miss a fucking meeting?
Yeah.
At what point is
Did I miss a
fucking putting
meeting?
your fingers together fucking racist? God damn.
Yeah,
We're gonna on the gear.
on the gear.
Next up on the rundown.
Yeah, on the gear. So, do you know who Sean King is, Greeno?
I don't.
Okay,
The
let
only
me-
reason I know who Sean King is because Ted Dabrowski sent something through about him being on the gear. And I'm like, well, fuck it, we've got to look at this.
All right, well,
If Ted thinks it's newsworthy, we've got to talk about it.
Well, you got to need a little bit of backstory though, quickly. So Sean King,
Okay.
Sean King is like a political / social justice journalist, kind of online content creator who identifies as a black man. Greeno.
Oh, okay. Let's take 2 steps back. Firstly, the first 6 words I heard makes me think shit cunt. Thirdly, what do you mean identifies as a black man?
Well, he says that he's black.
Is he black?
He says that he's black.
Is he black?
He identifies as black.
So he's not black.
Well, he says that he's black, Green.
Okay. He's not black.
Well, that's the official position that he says. I don't know if he is or not.
Can we bring up a picture? We need like a more zoomed in picture. Are we talking about a tan situation here? Is this an?
I don't know if it's a tan.
Maybe it's an albino black man. Like, where does an albino black man sit in a black man situation? So let's say the dude's black, but he's albino simultaneously. Is there such thing as an albino? This dude looks white, man. That guy's he's a white man.
I have to interrupt this.
I like stories about pinatas.
I have to interrupt this because this is now great. I can tell you legitimately, Greeno does not know who Sean King is, and like I knew that when I asked him because you wouldn't know who Sean King was unless you're in that kind of area on the internet. You know what I mean? He's not that big of a celebrity. Nobody outside of that world cares about who Sean King is.
My white beach bod fucking tan was darker than this dude. It's a white boy. He's not black. Like, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt where you're going with your thought, but I'm like,
no, it's just so funny because like you don't know.
I look more tan than this dude.
Oh man, because they've been arguing about this guy for years, man. And so that's why I don't really know. I can't say what I don't know what he is or he isn't. He identifies as black, Greeno. Okay.
Nice, Gary.
Now he has been referred to as things such as talcum X, Greeno. I think.
Nice, Gary.
Whoever said that? He's fucking definite nice, Gary.
Okay.
Oh, I was joking on that one.
There's another
That is
one.
very good.
The most recent Talcum X is very good. The most recent one I heard, Greeno, was Martin Luther King.
Nah, see, Talcum X is fucking way better. It's better wordplay on Talcum X. That's good.
Yeah.
That is worth a Nobel Peace Prize for writing. Talcum X.
Talcum X is very good.
So who the fuck? If we worked out, like, what does this dude do? So he's a commentator, which means
I guess
he's like an influencer.
I don't know if he influences many people, to be honest. He's an online commentator guy. He does journalist. He's a bit of a journalist. Yeah. He writes stuff. He says things.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he identifies as black, Greeno.
As black.
Yeah. So anyway, he's obviously distraught because Elon Musk is purchasing Twitter. So Sean King, this is the news report. Sean King's Twitter account disappears after liberal writer claims Musk takeover is, quote, about white power. So Sean King, the man who identifies as Sean King, the man who identifies as black.
The white guy who says he's black. Yep.
That's right. Is concerned ultimately that Elon Musk taking over Twitter represents, the gaining in power of white supremacy yet again, Greg.
Nice, Gary.
So more white supremacy, to which our friend Ted Dabrowski replied, too much nose candy over the weekend.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later. Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
Now with less than 3% sport content. It's the starting block on tavshow.com.
Yes, welcome back to the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Elon Musk.
I just fucking had to kill a mosquito, literally the size of my fist.
Yeah, there's some big bastards getting around at the moment, Greeno, because of all the rain and the moisture. They love that shit. That's where the mosquitoes get in there and they fuck each other senseless and pump out millions of babies.
Encephalitis as well. It's fucking killing everyone. Yeah, that was a big boy. Right as I was about to come on air.
Hopefully we get another pandemic, Greeno, with the mosquitoes. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh, it'd be good. Did you hear about the new bird flu in China? Can fucking the Chinese stop eating weird shit?
Nice,
Can we stop?
Can we get them some KFC or something? Fuck.
Get them something fucking healthy. I thought they liked rice. Why the fuck are they eating bats and birds and shit? Dave, this may be the most
because you got to put something on the rice, Greeno.
Exactly, like bat or fucking bird.
Now, is a bat a bird or?
Different. No, they're separate. No, they're two separate things. So the bat's the corona. That's one thing, and then we've got the new fucking bird flu.
It's a shame too. It's a shame too, Greeno, because I do often wish that the bats didn't have such terrible diseases and rabies and whatnot, because I think they probably would be rather delicious. Especially the wings, Greeno. Could you imagine frying those wings up, maybe baking them, Greeno, and turn them into nice crispy fucking
sauce on top?
Yeah,
Nice, Gary.
bat wing soup, Greeno, could be something. Has anyone ever
100%.
tried that? Has anyone ever tried bat soup before?
Let's not. No, don't fuck it up for everyone. There's now fucking like hepatitis as well getting back around.
Is it
what the
really?
fuck's going on with all these diseases?
Has Pammy been on tour again?
Pammy's back, exactly. Yeah, Damo, this second segment I didn't realize when I put it together because I was just like trying to move shit around. Like, this kind of flows, and I'll put I basically what I do is I try and put the shit I think's funny in the first segment. I put the kind of like average shit in the middle segment, and then I put sport in the third segment.
That's a nice way to.
What I've realized is
it's a nice opening of the kimono there. So basically, if you rock up after halfway through, we don't give a fuck about you. Like this is just the dregs of what we've got. We're running out the clock, basically.
What ends up happening is like the middle segment ends up normally being funnier because I don't think it's funny, and then it turns into a funny segment. Okay. But this middle segment ends up being nothing but my story times.
Okay.
So this one's going to be a
I like stories about pinatas.
So, I was talking about you pre-show. Now, I had a bit of a milestone throughout the course of before the last show ended and the new one started. Whenever we had the fucking break. Anyway, we had basically my family had been
I can tell this story is so important to you. Like, obviously, it's a very emotional time. Yeah,
that's why it's in the middle segment, mate. We just fucking plow through this one and get to the arse end. Now, my family had managed to find a way to be sick from every moment from the start of a school term to the end of a school term. Now, we then had a bit of a grace period for about a week when my daughter was on school holidays before there was other like germs spreading around. And then my wife, who works in aged care, decided to go into a cesspool of fucking Rona where there's just a shit ton of fucking Rona people. Now,
like The Walking Dead, they're just kind of staggering around with masks on, going because obviously you can't hear what they're saying. Yeah.
Here's the thing: there's no mask. Everyone's just fucking. It's all or nothing. So in the space of 1 week,
Corona orgy in there. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. In the space of 1 week, you've got 95% infection rate. So out of all the residents in my wife's facility, 95% got the Rona in 1 week. It's a fucking
Spread
germ
like
in there.
wildfire in there, Greeno.
It sure is.
What are they old fellas getting up to in the middle of the night? Are they sneaking into the ladies' rooms, Greeno? Are they?
Yeah, maybe. Or the dementia patients, so they fucking wander wherever they want to go. They don't know anything.
Well, you can just.
So-
the beauty of dementia is you'll never get bored of having sex with the same person, Greeno.
And you don't know any better.
That's
Exactly.
right, yeah.
So
I slip
that
into a
then-
different room every night and have sex with a different woman every night. Sure you do, honey.
Very good. Yeah. 100%. So that then got me into a predicament where I'm like, well, look, now the wife's got to go into that environment and we could potentially be Rona infected and have to isolate for a week. So fuck me. I've only got 1 case left in the house. How many beers do I need for a lockdown?
That's true. Now,
Like
how
an
long? Well,
isolation
first of all, Greeno, we
7
have
days.
to talk about 7. It's a 7-day lockdown.
7-day
Okay.
isolation. Sorry, not a lockdown. It's different. Not a lockdown. It's an isolation.
It's
so,
an but it's
like
a 7
days
days.
from the infected people.
You're 7 days for you to do whatever the fuck you want, though. Basically,
Exactly. 7 days where you like, look, if you're fucking infected, don't leave the house. But then my theory is like, if the wife gets infected on day 1, I might not get infected till day 3. The kids might not get infected till day 5 or 7, which means I need a 2-week buffer. So I need a 2-week beer buffer.
Okay, 2 weeks. We're going to
Just in
stop for
case.
2 weeks. Okay.
I'm
Now,
going to start for 2 weeks.
all right. Now I've got a couple of questions here for you because I'm pretty good at this kind of alcohol allocation stuff. Like it's generally my forte. I'm the man you see when you want to organize your alcohol rationing. Now, first of all, Green, I need to kind of get a feel for the kind of drinker you are. Now, for example, I'm not really a big beer in the morning guy. If I'm going for alcohol in the morning, I'm going for like a vodka and Red Bull, vodka and OJ.
Yeah.
I'll even do like bourbon and Cokes and shit in the morning, Greeno. And then I like beer as like a lunchtime kind of over a barbecue kind of drink. Now, would you say you're a breakfast beer guy generally?
No. So here's the thing. I do not drink until 4 p.m. onwards.
4 p.m. onwards. Okay, well that gives us a nice window to work with. I'm going to say you would probably get away with for 2 weeks, Greeno.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you 6 cartons.
Nice.
6 cards. Excellent. All right, cool.
I'm gonna give
Now,
you
here's the
6.
thing as well. And we're now in winter. So I've talked about in this show previously, the hot toddies have started to work their way in the rotation. So what generally happens in my household
Hot
is
toddies.
knockoffs at 4 p.m.
Yep.
So I'm allowed beers until the sun sets.
Okay.
Then I do dinner. And then once the kiddies off to bed, then I might indulge in, when the weather goes down a little bit chilly,
Yes.
then I'll indulge the hot toddy. So then I've got to get the whiskey content up.
Yes.
So now I need to make sure I've got enough bourbon in the house. So that's
Are you going for
also
a Beam or a Jack Daniels? What's your
I'm going to
preferred?
Beam. Yeah, I'm a Beam man myself. So what I did similar math to you. So my theory is if I was just a beer drinker, I'd go 6 cartons.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing the hot toddies on top of the beers, I can go 4 cartons and two 1.5 litre bottles of Jim Beam. That should cover me for the fortnight. Because the hot toddies, the whiskey's good for the Rona, I hear.
What is? Look, I don't even really know what. I'm sure you've explained it to me before. What
I've
is
explained it on the
exactly a
show
hot
previously.
toddy? Yeah, I don't remember.
The hot
this.
toddy is kind of like, you like it because you like whiskey sours.
Yes.
So it's basically it's whiskey, it's honey, it's lemon, it's cinnamon, and it's boiling water.
Cinnamon. It's interesting.
I don't do the cinnamon personally. I skip the
Yeah.
cinnamon, but that's what is in the actual hot toddy. I skip the cinnamon, just do honey, lemon, whiskey, and hot water.
And you drink it
Fucking
like
delicious.
a tea. Greeno.
Drink it like a tea.
Oh, nice.
I smashed down 9 of the baskets tonight. It's fucking great.
Go home.
So-
Go to bed smashed, pissed as a chook.
Smashed every night. Pissed as a chook. As long as the beers I drank as well. So duck on down to a good old friend Dan Murphy's and have to allocate just to be safe.
Yep.
Now, I thought, like, we've talked about this before. We used to work in customer service, me and you, back in the day. Different stores, different environments. I
Yep.
work deli, you work butcher.
Yep.
But we still
A lot of
understand
customer interaction. That's right.
we understand the customer service environment. Customers are dicks. You don't fucking want to deal with customers. But I understand, like, when I'm a customer, I want to try and be good to the service people.
And look, and when Greeno and myself make jokes about, shitty retail service, it comes from a place of ourselves having been part of shitty retail service. Okay,
100%.
So that's a fair context needs to be understood.
Yeah. So I've done my fucking alcohol math in the potential of a potential like isolation.
Yes.
So I've locked up at Dan Murphy's fucking cracker door, like fucking doors open.
Yeah, I love that feeling when they roll up the roller door, Greeno. When
you're there with the other crazy alcos who are like lining up fucking 12 minutes before doors open, and you're like, really, guys, what are we doing here? Like,
oh mate,
we're keen.
Remember when I was working nights? I would often be at the bottle shop like when it opened. Sometimes I'd be there 20 minutes before Greeno because it's like, well, I'm not going to go home and then come back. I'm just kind of on my way home at 6 a.m. Yeah. So I'd be waiting there at 5:30 for them to open at 6. The early openers, Greeno, at 6 a.m. And one of the best things about being at those places at that time of day is, Greeno, the only other people who are there are like 80-year-old guys. And
100%, mate.
And it gives it gives me so much hope and spirit because I walk in there and I feel fucking young and I'm like, God bless you boys. You're still here at 80. Like, I've got a future yet.
Nice, Gary.
Exactly. Your kidneys are still good. We're fucking sweet.
That's
we're
right.
all good to go.
Going good. That's right.
So I've done my math. I rock up and I go straight. I know exactly where this is kind of alcohol behavior. I know exactly where the pallet is of the beer I want, which is kind of concerning.
Yeah.
But I suppose everyone does in their local shop. They kind of know where you're shitting.
You know where your zones are at least. Yeah.
Now, what I observe here is I see fucking old mate loading the pallet. So this isn't a pallet bought in, right, of the beer I like.
Okay.
The pallet's already there, and he's then got a separate pallet that he's now loading up onto existing pallet. So I look at this from a customer service standpoint, going, look, if I'm this dude and you see me take 4 cases off a fucking pallet that I'm loading, I'm thinking, what a dick this guy is.
I'll help you load. I'm just loading the pallet anyway. That's it. Here, mate, take these ones, exactly.
So I look at the dude. I'm like, hey, mate, instead of fucking like loading on there, do you mind just putting 4 cases on my trolley? And he gave me the filthiest fucking death stare, like I just fuck his mouth. And the disdain that he fucking put these 4 cases on my trolley, sir.
Smashed them down, shook them up.
Smashed them down, was so fucking angry. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, do I need to fucking pull the dude aside and go, mate, what would you prefer? Would you prefer to take him off the pallet you're loading and put him onto there and then see me fucking take him right off in front of you?
Yeah.
Or would you rather just put him straight in my fucking trolley? I thought I was doing him a favor. So dick move to that guy.
Yeah. Oh, dick
That's
move.
still fucking dick. Still an issue sort of time. Was I in the wrong there to ask the dude to put the thing off his separate pallet onto my trolley?
No, I don't think you're necessarily in the wrong. Look, it's probably not, in all honesty, it's probably not something I would do because I'm a dick and I would just take them off the pallet as he's loading it. And you know what? I swear to God, and I would make small talk with him, be like, how you going, mate? Having a good day? Yeah. I'm like, Jesus, mate.
As you put it on, I take the exact one off. Like,
look, I'm kind of, in all honesty, hand on heart, Green, I'll tell you, I'm kind of a grandpa. So I would probably say something to the guy, something cheesy like, hey, mate, as soon as you're putting them out, people are buying them. Something like that. And he'd probably hate my fucking guts, and I wouldn't notice. I would just go, all right, see you, mate. Have a good day. I'm a bit of a cheesy dickhead like that. So, But there's nothing wrong with asking for something like that. I mean, look, but you shouldn't even have
to do you a favor.
Look, but I think
double work for him.
You shouldn't have to ask for something like that, though. Like, if that were me loading the pallet and I saw you kind of milling around, I wouldn't even wait for you to ask. I'd go, oh, g'day, mate. Do you want some of these? I'd be like, are you waiting for this one? And if you look at me and say, yeah, mate, I'd say, oh, bring your trolley over here. I'll just chuck them on, because it's like, what fucking difference does it make? And that bloke goes, oh, thanks, mate. That was nice of you. I'm like, yeah, no worries.
Everyone's a fucking wheel. Exactly. No, I agree.
It's nice. It's nice to give the customer a nice experience when you're working in retail. Now, of course, retail's a shitty fucking job because there's a lot of shitty fucking customers, and maybe you got this guy on a bad day as well. So who knows?
Correct. But on the plus side, I got a fucking segment out of this show for it. So
Nice, Gary!
I like stories about pinatas.
Fantastic.
that brings me to segment number 2. Now, we've heard fucking for the better part of 2 and a bit years now, pandemic, fucking everyone's struggling for money, like jobs, fucking how can we lock down? We can't, everyone needs fucking money, we can't lock down, everyone needs jobs. Turns out apparently unemployment is fucking 0 because the government's fudging the figures. So good on them. That's good. Well done. That's one side.
0 seems optimistic even for someone who's allegedly cheating.
That's 4%. Like, it's not as if fucking only 4% of people are unemployed right now. Fucking get fucked.
Think,
like, no.
Well, the
fucking
Americans
way.
are doing the same act because I think they came out and said, "Oh, it's 3.1% now."
Fucking bullshit. No one.
Yeah.
There is no fucking
not.
way. The true fucking unemployment percentage, if you're talking about true unemployment, like anyone who's doing less than 10 hours a week is effectively unemployed. You're not fucking working. Even under 10 hours, you're not fucking really working. You're part-time and you're a kid. If it should be age-based and it should be like hours-based. Like, look, if you're under the age of 16, under the 16, that's fucking pretty young. Under the age of 18, say, like, that can't count unemployment. It should be 18 plus, and then there should be like asterisks to it based on studying, full-time, part-time, etc. But that's getting way too serious for this particular show.
Well, the problem is, look, Greeno, we've known about this for fucking 30, 40 years. The problem is, and we've been talking about it for a long fucking time too, the political nerds out there. But the problem is with this shit is it becomes a problem of definition, and it's the definition. The definition is not political. The mistake, the trap that people fall into, and I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying people out there generally, is when whatever their bias is, they'll say, "Oh, this government's lying about the employment figures," and I'm not saying you were doing that, but that's what people will say. "Oh, look, they're lying. It's not this. It should be that." But the problem is, it's a universal. Well, no, it's not. It's not even. But that's a problem. It's not even that they're lying about it. They're not. The problem is the definition, and it's a universal. It's a universal definition that's used across both parties. So, but it favors both parties. That's the thing. It favors whoever the government is. You know what I mean?
No one's going to change the definition because no one wants a definition that goes, realistically, when you're in power, it's going to be 15% unemployment because no one wants the 15% tag. But in reality, it's probably fucking 15%.
Well, it even gets to the point of ridiculousness where it's something like, Greeno, if you spent 2 hours looking for work that week, you're considered employed, and you're considered part of the employee. It's something nuts like that. But it's the universal standard because government's always going to, The problem we have is we think one particular side is more propagandistic than the other. It's not really true because those both sides are still in government, Greeno. They're still in the entity of the government, and the government is the fucking government departments and the bureaucracies and those kinds of types. That's the government because that shit doesn't matter who you vote for. That shit's always there. You know what I mean?
100%. No, exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, as well, you're just talking about, there's the issues with the definition. Like, you can't come up with a true definition in reality because every circumstance is different. Like, my wife is employed, but she only works, a couple of days a week. Now, the reason she only works a couple of days a week is because of, kids and stuff. Now, if that was, let's say we didn't have kids and she was trying to find a full-time job but could only get part-time employment, what's the definition of fully employed? You know what I mean? It's the work. One day a week.
It's the work equivalent of fully sick, Greeno. Fully employed.
Yeah, dumb cunt. That's what it is.
Nice, Gary.
So it brings me back to my story time.
My story.
I like stories about pinatas.
Unemployment's going gangbusters, right? So we've heard, everyone's struggling. We need JobKeeper. We spend fucking billions on JobKeeper. We're fucking funneling money to Harvey Norman, etc.
JobKeeper.
JobKeeper, Job Seeker, fucking Job
creator.
Payer, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Creator,
Head jobber.
Slayer. Doesn't fucking matter. Whatever it is, apparently people need fucking money. Like, they need money and they need it fucking now.
Damn capitalism.
So, Greeno is fucking not a bad situation, mate. I've managed to keep my job in this period.
Yeah.
Try to save some money. Try to do the right thing.
Yep.
I never realized how hard it is to give fucking people money.
Right.
until the last 3 months. Now, what I've tried to do is trying to get some renos done on the house. So look, trying to fucking pay it forward. Like, look, people are struggling for jobs. Excellent. Trying to do some renos. I got a little bit of cash aside. Let's fucking pay for some renos done on the house. Try and get a patio done. Now, I've now asked for 2 quotes for a patio. 8 weeks later, still haven't heard shit.
Nice,
I'm like,
Gary!
I'm trying to give these fuckers tens of thousands of dollars.
Mate.
But
Yeah.
no one can get back to me to go, hey, here's how much it may cost. Would you like to book it in?
You
Now,
are
I've had people come out.
You are
measured-
preaching. You
measured-
are preaching to the fucking choir, my friend. Myself and the Lady Boogs have often remarked over our renovation phase that we've been going through, Greeno, how fucking difficult it is to give people money. It's nuts. They do not want our money.
Yeah. I said to my wife, I'm like, look, I'm going to give them till after the Easter period, and then I'm going to start sending emails, fucking angry emails, sir, to go, do you want my money? And that's going to be my fucking heading.
That's the problem.
Do you want my money?
That's a good heading, but getting angry at them, that doesn't solve it, because then they're just going to do a shitty job, Greeno, if you
No.
hire them.
I'm not going to angry way, but I'm like, do you want my money? Question mark. Because we're talking about 5-figure fucking fees here for these stupid things.
I know. And
Like,
they don't give a fuck.
stupid
They
money.
don't care.
And I'm like, surely, like if we're struggling in the economy and everyone's struggling, like, oh, we need people in work.
Yeah.
Surely employ the people in these particular industries that are trying to do renos. But anyway, that's one point. So then I'm like, look, maybe it's just the fucking patio industry. Maybe that's just what's
mate.
fucked up.
Look, we'll try and give jobs like. Our mindset is always like, let's look for local guys first. I want to give a local guy a bit of money. Yeah. And look, even if they charge a little bit more, I'm not even really too fussed, because we're going to help. We've got to help the community, mate. Right? Yeah. So we give the local guys the work. It is fucking nuts. You can ask them for a quote, and they're like, yeah, all right, we'll get back to you. And it's like 2 months later, we're chasing it. I'm like, hey, do you still have that quote? The Lady Boogs is chasing people constantly for people who don't want to take our fucking money. It's like, well,
I'm trying to give you money here.
Yeah, and like you said, it might be like 5-figure job, like a pretty good fucking job, local job, Greeno, no traveling across the city and stuff. And they're like, sorry about that. We just forgot to give you a quote. It's like, really? You forgot? Are things going that well? You just don't care about fucking, getting jobs? I don't understand.
Here's the thing, the Lady Greeno has talked to me about some other things she wants to get done. I'm like, whoa, hang on.
We can't get the first one done.
We've literally got 3 things on back order, right? So I've got one thing booked who the guy's like, give me a quote, which is good. But he's like, yeah, with the rain, because we're getting a roof done.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, the rain, we can't do it until the rain stops and there's a 4-month wait. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
That's all good. That's cool. At least we got a quote and we kind of know ballpark figure and we're on the backlog. But that's been 3 months and we still haven't heard anything yet. But the dude came out and fixed it. Dude came out and fixed our roof where the leak was when we had the hardcore rain.
Right.
So the wife's like, oh, do we owe that guy money? I'm like, yeah, we do, because he came out and fixed our roof.
Yeah.
And he's like, has he asked for it? And I'm like, no, he hasn't. So fuck him. So,
Nice, Gary!
No, he hasn't. So fuck him.
so he hasn't. Because there's still the rest of the roof to be done.
Yeah.
But he did the good thing. And he's like, nah, he's not. Because I offered the guy money. I'm like, look, man, how much do I owe you for that? And he's like, no, just fix this up at the end of the job. So we're already in hock to him. So we're okay. He'll be back. He's okay.
We're in hock to the roof,
guy.
guy.
Money already. So the other jobs, though, I'm fucking still waiting to quote. It's infuriating, so I'm going to call some people next week. Now, then that went from that. So they're big jobs. Yeah. But then there was a couple of other small things. I got a bonus recently, and I like to spend a little bit. If I get a bonus from work, I like to spend a little, I give myself 10% of my bonus for myself.
Okay.
A bit of play money to go, look, Greeno doesn't get to spoil himself because all my money goes on bills.
For me, that'd be enough to buy a newspaper, Greeno.
But ultimately, there's a couple of things that I was like, look, I got a baseball glove that I need repaired, right? And I've had this baseball gloves for about 10 years, and it's the first glove I use. So I'm like, look, it's broken, but I want to get it repaired. So I reach out to a couple of relacing places. And once again, small business. Yep. I'm thinking, fucking let's help out small business here. Fucking everyone needs some money. I've reached out, I've emailed a couple of different places to go, hey, need quotes, give me how much you want, time frames, blah, blah, blah. Not one reply. I'm trying to fucking give you money here, guys.
It's nuts.
All you need to do is email me back and say it's going to cost you $200, it's going to cost you $400, it's going to cost you whatever. All you got to do is it doesn't cost you any money to reply to an email 4 weeks later. So can't give those fuckers money either. No. So then baseball season started about 4 weeks ago. Everything's been rained out. But last week we got a chance. So last week we got a chance to. The game was called off, but we got a chance to train because at least portions of the field were okay. So I rock up and I'm like, look, it's my second season with this particular club. I want to get my own. Like, I want to get a jersey that has my name on the back. Like, the old school things you wanted to do as a kid, right? Like when you were a kid, like our parents weren't fucking. We didn't have much money, so we never got our names on the back of jerseys. It was like whatever jersey you got handed is the one you got when you played basketball.
That's it.
For me, I'm like. I got money now. I want to get my name and my number on the back, and I'll pay for it. We're all sweet.
Yep.
So I go up to the club president, and I've seen the financial statements because I was the only sucker dumb enough to rock up to the board meeting.
The one guy there.
There was fucking 3 people there, man. It was brutal.
Wow.
And it was the only one stupid enough who wasn't
doesn't that
already on the
shit
board
piss
to
you?
rock up.
But doesn't that shit kind of piss you off though? Because I guarantee you, like you would have heard all through the season people fucking gas bagging about the board. You know, like how much they hate the board. Oh, the board are fucking useless, or they're doing this wrong, or whatever. I bet you probably heard plenty of that, but nobody cares enough to actually go there. You know.
No, not at all. No, exactly. No, I agree. And that's why I thought I'd rock up because I'm like, oh, surely if everyone's complaining, there'll be tons of people there. Yeah. It was literally me. No. But they run through like the financial statements and I'm a fucking accountant. So I looked at them and oh, this kind of makes sense, blah, blah, blah. They're not making much money, right? It's pretty much
tough
like
to make
it's
money
like most
in
sports
that game.
Clubs.
Yeah.
100%. Like most sport clubs are kind of like they earn what they spend and it's all kind of sweet. So I rock up to the club treasurer. I'm like, look, mate, I want to get the jersey on the back, like name on the back, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, look, the minimum order is 10, and I don't think we got enough numbers to do that order.
What?
And once again, I'm like,
you've got to order 10 jerseys with different names or with your name, Greeno? Because that would have been a nice scary move. If you paid for 10 Greeno jerseys, like, and just bought one of them though, and then the other 9, I want to see every player on the team with the same name on the back. Your name.
So dude's running through the thing and he's like, look, realistically, there's only maybe 4 people in my jersey. We've got a 10 order minimum. Yeah. In the back of my head, I'm like, fucking, I will pay for fucking the balance of the jerseys just so I can get my name on the back. And then fuck it. Yeah, I'm going to put Greeno on the back of everyone else's jersey. There's a free fucking player. I'll pay for the jersey. So hard to give people money. And I walked away and they're like, oh, come on, we're going to go train. I'm like, I'm trying to fucking give a club that has no money, and they don't want to take my cash. Oh, I'm like, I'll give you money for the fucking jersey. Oh, no, 10 minimum. Well, fucking find a way to not. Yeah. Like, how hard is it to give people money?
Yeah. Look, I tell you what. Give me let me buy one jersey right now. I'll give you $50 for one jersey now, and I'll go and put my own fucking number on it and my own name on it. Save you the fucking money.
Headache, exactly.
Yeah, fuck.
We'll wrap up with one more story time, sir.
I like stories about pinatas.
This has turned into a running segment on our show, unintentionally. Okay. So over at the folks' place over Easter, and the folks have got an attic, right?
Okay.
So
do they?
They've got nice.
Where the fuck's the attic? I never knew there was an attic.
Oh, they didn't have an attic when we were there. We were kids. They put an attic in since. So the attic's now in the hallway. Okay. Yeah, 100%.
Is it one of those cool ones? Does he have like a staircase that comes out and all that?
Oh, it does, mate.
Fucking no. If you see, the reason I knew that is because I know the big fella, and I reckon the big fella, if he still listens to this show, I don't know if he does or not, but if he's listening, he gave up years ago. If he was listening, I reckon I'd nailed him because he's that would be something that he would have been like firm on. I reckon it's like, no, it's got to have a staircase, got to be easy to go up and down. And one of those cool ones that does it like fold out, Green, or slide down?
I know if it does, mate. It's so good.
Nice, Jerry.
It's so good. So look, the big fella's getting on in age. So he's like, look, can you? Like, we got it over Easter. He's like, there's a couple of things we need to put up there. Like, do you mind putting it up there for me? I'm like, yeah, mate. Like, fucking give it to me. I'll put it up there.
Take
like,
care of your dad, mate. That's it.
Beach bod, mate. Beach bod fucking got to show the jackness because you can't pike out.
You're over there in your Penny Hardaway singlet, lifting boxes into the attic like a Chad.
I had to cut shirt, mate. Cut shirt. So,
Nice.
get on up there. And what, like, I get up there, put this thing. So all they have up there is fucking like key storage stuff. And they've just cleaned it out, right? So they've just done a massive salvos dump. They've gone, look, this shit we don't fucking need anymore. It's out in the back patio.
Okay.
It's all fucking gone. Anything they don't need is back patio, and it's fucking chockers. Like, there's old fridges, there's old mowers, there's
old mowers up there.
There literally is. So all the shit is out the back. Like fucking all the crap that they don't need anymore is out the back. And I go up in the attic, the cleaned out attic, sir.
Yeah.
And what is the first thing you think I see?
What?
Foot spa. And straight away.
go straight away.
No, I go to the ad.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection, the perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like we were in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't rip. Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. Don't forget the wall tapestry. If you need to cover your wall, it works.
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like, I'm just gonna listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do that. You do the show without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No!
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly you enjoy it.
You look like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, come on, you secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Welcome to The Starting Block. Follow on Twitter at The Starting Block. Drop the K at the end. Find the podcast on iTunes or on tavshow.com.
Yes, back in the block like soon, boys and girls. We asked into the show, we talked a little bit of sport. We came across a bit of disrespect throughout the course of the week there, Damo.
Disrespect, Greeno. You know I love a good outrage campaign. It's like, that's what gets me up. Yeah. Gets me up in the morning, gets me hard, Greeno, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you. And look, we are talking about rugby league here, so I think that's fucking apt.
Chauvinists and sexists and misogynists.
Raiders star apologized. Well, look, we could probably make this racist if we wanted to. Raiders star apologizes for chewing gum, blowing bubbles.
Bro. Man, this isn't misogynist section. This is bro. Yeah. People are fucked. That's what that's thinking.
Oh, mate. Raiders star apologized. Well, look, okay, so what happened? This guy, look, the last post was played, and for those of you who aren't Australian, you won't know what the last post is. Maybe you do know what the last post is. I don't know. It's a trumpet song or a bugle song that they play on Anzac Day, and it's a bah, 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 bah. You know, every Aussie knows this. Every New Zealander knows it too. You know, and this is like,
can I just say, in this particular player's defense, and it's not because it's my team, let's say it was a different team.
Yeah.
Was this game played on Anzac Day?
I don't know. I don't watch NRL. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
No,
so it wasn't played on Anzac. So what basically happened is the NRL milks the fucking teat of possible ways to like get some money out of Anzac Day, right? Mm-hmm. So over the course of the whole weekend, irrespective of whether it's Anzac Day or not, it's fucking Anzac Day festivities. Yeah. Which look, if they find a way to funnel the money to like the veterans, I have no problem with it. But they don't. They funnel the money back in their own pockets. But they say, oh, no, fucking we're paying respect to the veterans. They're not. It's bullshit. So this is not. I personally find it more disrespectful that they took money. They took money in the pretense of this is an Anzac Day ceremony and put it into the NRL's pocket instead of giving it to people that might have been worthy, etc. for veterans, and trying to take money on days that isn't Anzac Day for an Anzac Day festivity.
Right. Look, I don't.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Am I being a dicky?
No.
Nice,
look, firstly, just for our American friends, Anzac Day is like our Veterans Day, basically.
Veterans Day, yeah, exactly.
And look, I was, to be fair to you, I was saying similar things because the AFL have now, they don't do a game on Anzac, like, because we watched the Giants Friday night game. We lost to St Kilda, Greeno. But apparently it was part of Anzac round. Now, this game was on Friday night. Anzac Day was Monday. 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Monday.
Nothing to do with fucking Anzac Day.
Yep, and you know what? They did the service and the last post and the fucking minute silence
every
and stuff.
Game. Yeah.
And you know, my wife said something because I think I just kind of wasn't really paying attention or something. And she said something, it wasn't snarky or anything. And I said, oh, look, you know, it's like, I understand this ceremony and stuff, but shouldn't this just be happening on Anzac Day? Like, why?
100%.
Right.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. I find it a little cringe that it's happening. It would be like the poor kids having Christmas 3 days before Christmas, Greeno. Like, you know, like you're opening presents, like, hey, Christmas, Merry Christmas. It's like, well, it's not Christmas though. It's 3 days from now. So
what if we didn't? What if I did a bugle now?
Well, it wouldn't mean as much. It wouldn't matter as much.
What are you talking about? It's the exact same amount of days from Anzac Day than the one they fucking played on Thursday.
Exactly. But you know what makes it worse, Greeno? It's fucking stupid. And I said to my wife, look, I said, the problem is if you're a football fan, like I said, look, I'm not against the service or anything. Clearly, you know me. I'm a pro Anzac Day guy, Greeno. You're a pro Anzac Day. We love our Anzac Day, you know. But I'm like, it's not this day. It's not happening today. And the other thing is, if you're a football fan, right, you have to watch this fucking service 8 times.
8 times.
8 times. You've got to do the minute silence.
If you're watching it for 2 different leagues, you've got to watch it 16 times.
16 times you'll be watching the same Anzac Day service when really one is enough. Like, you know.
And realistically, 14 of those 16 are happening on a day that's not fucking Anzac Day.
That's right. So the actual service on Anzac Day, that's the one you're supposed to shoot for. The one that they're doing on Friday night football is a little bit different.
It's a bit rough, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was a game on Thursday night where they were fucking playing. I'm like, we're almost a week away from Anzac Day. Like,
I know. I don't like it, and you know, I'm glad.
I hate it. I fucking hate it.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary. Yeah, I reckon it's
getting fucking important.
Dumb.
Like fucking, like I know, like we've taken we need to get to the serious issues. Like I know the Anzacs are serious, but we need to get the fucking real serious issues, Damo.
Yeah.
I didn't know what fucking Beck Judd's up to.
Judd.
This is fucking the dumbest thing you've ever sent me.
Let me pull up the article for you.
I know you sent me some dumb shit. But you sent me this, and normally what happens, like a bit of fucking kimono pull, what happens is Damo sends me shit during the week, and I just fucking put it in the back of my mind and go, okay, it's in the rundown, it's in the rundown, it's in the rundown, sweet, we're all good. This article fucking made me have to respond, going, what the fuck, man? Like,
fuck is going on?
what the fuck is this shit? Like, this is worse than a bro. People are fucked. This is like, it was on a different plane. It made no fucking sense as to why this was a news article, why it was in there. And as you pointed out back to me,
she's got friends in the business, Greeno. That's why.
She's not even in the fucking country, as you pointed out.
No, she's
so
not.
we're now Australian news is now writing about fucking people that fuck AFL players that aren't even in the country. What the fuck is going on with our news? It is fucking unbelievable.
Well, so this one was written. This one, I just think. Well, I don't know. Part of me thinks now, I like a good conspiracy theory.
This is trolling, surely, because they're just trying to make people like me and you angry. Surely they're doing this for the reason.
Well, what about this one? What if Rebecca Judd is part of some kind of,
She's black.
No. I'm going to say.
You check if she's black.
What if she's part of some kind of vaginal Instagram skull and bones society? Right? So what if...
What would a vaginal Instagram skull and bones society involve?
Well, I think because you've heard of the Skull and Bones Society, right? And that's where you've got like, George W. Bush, Kerry, I think, was in there. World leaders go through the Skull and Bones. Now, I suspect the vaginal... What was it?
Vaginal skull and bones.
The vaginal Instagram skull and bones society, Green.
Skull and bones society. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah.
I think it operates in a similar way in that they all perpetuate each other's power, and I think Rebecca Judd probably has some, vaginal skull and bones allies in the media, which is literally the only reason that she would be kept being written about in the media would be because her friends are writing articles about it. Because, like Greeno said, she's the wife of a former AFL player. That's, and I'm sure she does other stuff, but it's ridiculous. No, she
wore a very exposing dress.
Okay, great.
20 years ago.
Okay, now here she is. Now this story is called Rebecca Judd's Incredible Coachella Looks. So they're writing. People are getting paid, Greeno, to write articles about what Rebecca Judd is wearing. Like I said, in California, Greeno. She's not even in the fucking country. Someone's writing an article about a picture that they got of Rebecca Judd in California. What the fuck is going on?
We are part of the problem. We're clicking on the article.
Yes, we are. Oh, well, look, I'll give you 2 cents. It's worth the 2 cents to laugh at it. You know what I mean? So if you don't care how you make your money, then it's worth it.
She needs a meal, and that's fucking point number 1.
Yeah, she's a little bit skinny.
Yeah, definitely needs a meal. Okay. Secondly, that's definitely not worth 2 cents and definitely not worth the time we spent on the show. But yeah, the fucking WAG updates. Wow. She's fucking sitting there racking lines in Coachella. Excellent. Put that on the news. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Allegedly. But like fucking she's just said they're like, oh, this is her.
To be fair, I don't think Rebecca Judd is the drugs type. I think she's more of a smoothie and go for a jog person, to be honest.
I reckon she's fucking she's railed up hard, man.
Well, I mean, Chris Judd left the West Coast Eagles long before we found out about all their cokeheads, didn't he? So, to be fair to him, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he did 1 or 2 lines.
I'm not saying he's on the gear. I'm saying that body does not come from not a lot of fucking bit of sniffy and all night out the dance floor.
Okay. Sweating it out. Sweating out the oldies.
Exactly. Let's end the show on a bit of NBL stat man, sir, because something happened that hasn't happened. It's pretty young children. The Perth Wildcats failed to make the postseason.
I know.
For the first time since when was it? I thought it was 1988. 1986.
35 years.
We were literally still in diapers the last time the Perth Wildcats missed the playoffs. Now, for our American listeners, the Perth Wildcats are a basketball team, one of the most storied franchises of Australian basketball.
Oh, look, it's them and the Melbourne Tigers, and that's pretty much it, isn't it? Really, like even the Kings. The Kings had a little. The Kings had a little kind of little 3-year or 4-year or 5-year period, and then they came back. But remember, even when the Kings were at their height, they weren't the kind of dominant, repetitive playoff force.
No, what I'm saying is like the Australian basketball, like the NBL, the National Basketball League for Australia, is such a volatile industry that the fact that they managed to stay in business since 1986 is pretty impressive. Let alone make the playoffs, no matter what the format was, every year since 1986. So fucking.
That's got to be a record in Australian sport, doesn't it? Like making finals for 35 years in a row has to be a record somewhere, doesn't it?
Well, definitely not in any of the major sports, 100%.
Yeah. Has any team in a professional sporting code, let's say in a first world country, because I'm not going to include countries where there's only 3 teams. Okay, that doesn't count. So all right, so if you're in a first world country and you've got it like a professional, let's say like one where people can become millionaires playing the sport. Is that a fair, kind of criteria?
Well, I think it just needs to be known as professional.
Okay, because there aren't too many. Yeah, well, there are too many professional guys in Afghanistan. You know that sport where they throw around the headless goat, Greeno, on horseback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not a professional sport. I'm saying something where the player's job is that particular sport.
That's right.
Okay. They don't have to be millionaires. They just need to be. That needs to be their job.
Making finals 35 years in a row.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, I'm trying to think of any other Australian sport.
I'm trying to think of any professional. Like I'm trying to think of football teams. No, like soccer teams. No, I can't think of any other team that's been in finals 35 years.
Like Scottish soccer, like.
Well, no, because like Celtic and Rangers haven't made the last 35. Say because they don't really have finals. They have
finals. That's right.
They have the FA Cup though, which is the knockout kind of thing. But they haven't made it 35 years in a row. Either of them.
I'm trying to think of like Australian sport, like the American sport. I'm thinking the closest maybe the Yankees, but
they've missed playoffs.
No, they missed playoffs because the postseason like format changes over the years. They've been over 500 for like fucking crazy many years.
It's making playoffs, but the format's changed for the Wildcats too. The Wildcats have been in the league when there was 8 teams and they compressed all the talent into 8 teams. They've been in the league when there's fucking 15 teams and there's talent spread all over. It doesn't matter what the league is, they've always made the finals. Doesn't matter what the rules are. They keep making the finals.
100%.
Nice Gary to Perth Wildcats.
Nice Gary to Wildcats. Fucking stat man. Unfortunately, the streak ended this year.
Too bad. It's fucking over. Suck a dick. Suck a dick, Perth. It's finished.
The dumbest fucking name in sports history. The
Jack Jumpers.
Fucking made it. And you're like, I can't. Let's call them the fucking Tassie Devils like they used to be called when Simon Dwight used to play them in the fucking white shirt and he's single over top.
No, Greeno, got to correct you there. Simon Dwight with the white, because Simon Dwight was my favourite player when he was playing.
It was Canberra Cannons, wasn't he?
Canberra Cannons, Greeno, that's right.
Who was the gun rookie that used to play for fucking Tassie?
I don't know. They had a McKinnon for a while, didn't they? After he left.
McKinnon, yeah, he was good.
Sam, yeah.
Tasmanian Devils, NBL.
Okay, the Jack Jumpers have a YouTube page, Greeno.
Well, I don't want to fucking see that. I just need to know who's fucking
the Tasmania Jack Jumpers. Okay.
Yeah, it's the stupidest name ever. Just fucking call them the Devils like they used to be called.
Yeah, the Devils is a good name. Oh look, here's the mascot. Do you want to see the mascot, Greeno? The Jack the Jumper, Greeno.
Nice, Gary.
No, fuck that.
Here's a video. And now this is from the professional basketball team in Tasmania, the Jack Jumpers. It's got 325 views, Greeno. And this is, I swear to God, 325 views from the professional Jack Jumpers basketball team. And now this is called
David Stiff is who I was thinking of.
David Stiff, the Stiffy. That's right. He had a very hairy chest, Greeno.
Steve Carfino used to play for the fucking Tassie team. I didn't realise that.
There you go. Well, I think he played for everyone, didn't he? He played for the Kings and the Bullets, and I think he played.
Steve Carfino is known for the Kings. And then slowly I get down to I Dream of Genie. Fucking what a weird side I've ended up on. Bit of Barbara Eden action.
Okay, so this is the Tasmanian now. Because they're Tasmanian, we do give them a little bit of slack because they're in Tasmania. Because they're the rest of us here on the mainland. We love our Tasmanians. I personally love Tasmania. It's a beautiful place. I wish I could fucking live there. They're so lucky. But you know that they are a little bit different. You know, not in a bad way. They're just different, Greeno, aren't they? So here's their mascot for their basketball team in Tasmania, and it's called Jack the Jumper Goes to Town. Okay. Let's have a look. Here he is, Jack. Oh, look at him. Oh.
He looks like a sex pest, I guarantee it.
There he is. Now, so this is a politician, the Premier of Tasmania, whoever he is, and he's playing basketball with Jack. Look at that. Now, is Jack the Jumper some kind of cockroach, Greeno, or?
I believe it's some kind of bug, insect that is native to Tasmania.
Do you remember
the name?
Do you remember what was it, the Glenn Robbins show, Greeno? It was Leaf Insect Man, Jimon?
Jimon.
Do you remember Leaf Insect Man?
I do not remember Leaf. I remember the Marta Brothers, and that's it, and the Jimon's cooking show. That's all I remember from that show.
Oh, mate, now we're going to have to go. Before we finish the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to meet one of the greatest superheroes of all time, Leaf Insect Man, which was a character... It was a character on Jim Owen played by Glenn Robbins. Okay. So, all right, here's a video. Leaf Insect Man. All right. Let's minimize that one. So I think this is where they're getting their inspiration from for Jack the Jumper. So.
Steve Marta, the Marta.
Insect Man.
How do you remember that? That's solid.
That's it. So Leaf Insect Man, the one I was looking for, Greeno, was when they're on stage, because they did it on stage.
No, that's better, that one.
No, it was so funny when they're on stage, because it was done like live action comic books. So they would turn the lights off and people would arrange and then turn the lights back on, you know, like that improv fucking thing that you do. And so, but Leaf Insect Man, he would just stay in the same position the whole time. But he would somehow like save the world. And so the other actors would move around him. And so this was Glenn Robbins' role on Jim Owen's show, was Leaf Insect Man. And he would just stand there holding a branch and just looking deadpan like at the audience. And so the lights would turn off, and then it would go from like bad guys fighting, and then everyone would be dead at the next scene, and he hasn't moved the whole time. He's just, thank you, Leaf Insect Man, you know.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Oh, should we get the fuck out of here or what?
Let's get the fuck out of here. We've gone on too long already.
Yeah, I know.
Once again, there was nothing in this rundown. Like, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And we've gone on almost 2 hours. That's enough.
The Lady Boog said to me before, I said, oh, look, you know, do you want to watch it? Because we've been watching... You remember we went through The Walking Dead a while ago, Greeno? Mm-hmm. So now we've been watching the spin-off show, The Fear the Walking Dead, which is the other one. Yeah.
Any good?
I like that. I like the concept. So I probably like it no matter what. If it's terrible or not, I don't care. I like the fact that they're in this, you know, nightmarish apocalypse situation. That's what I like.
Okay.
No, but it's pretty good. You know, it's pretty good. Some characters you want to punch in the face. You know, other characters you're looking forward to their death, and other characters. The thing with those shows is they kill people off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I said, hey, look, why don't we watch another episode of Fear the Walking Dead tonight after I do the show? And she looked at me like a disappointed child when you tell them there's no Santa Claus. And she said, your show never goes for an hour. It never goes for an hour. It's probably going to go for 2. And I went, yeah, all right. Well, fair.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah, hour and a half to 2 is pretty much the regular show these days. Yeah. I fucking thought of a topic I was going to discuss.
Go on.
Should we save it for the next show?
No,
I just want to talk about streaming stuff.
Do it now before we go.
Yeah, that'll annoy the Lady Boogs. Excellent.
Yeah.
Try not to annoy the Lady. I love the Lady Boogs. I don't want to annoy her anymore. No, fuck it. Is it just me, or has streaming services got out of hand?
Which ones?
Well, all of them. Because that's kind of the point. Because there used to be a couple, right? So you'd be able to get everything you wanted from like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you wanted to like get some sport content, you got your KO. If you wanted to get like your movies, you got your Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want some older movies, you want some Stan. Now shit's fucking getting out of hand. You got your Disney Plus, your Paramount.
Yep.
You got your fucking they keep on multiplying to the point where now it's spread so much that if you want to watch certain sports, certain movies, certain TV shows,
you're paying more.
You need to subscribe. What's fucking Prime?
Yep.
You need fucking literally 12 different accounts to be able to watch anything you want.
Yep. And where before, if you could just get a cable TV fucking connection, Greeno, you'd pay like $50 a month and just get it. You'd get it all. Now, because you're like, oh look, we can get Netflix for $10 a month. It's so fucking good. And it's like, yeah, okay. So you need your Netflix, you need KO, you need Disney, you need Prime, you need fucking Hulu, you need all these other ones. It ends up costing you twice as much, Greeno, to get all the same stuff.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. Yeah, here's the thing. Because my wife laughs at me. She's like, "You're a fucking idiot. Why have you got all these DVDs?" I'm like, "Well, you know how much those DVDs would cost now if I had to stream that shit? Fucking $1,000 a month."
That's a great.
Like, I've got a collection.
That's the best argument for hanging on to old crap that I've ever heard in my life.
No, it's fucking serious, right? Yeah. So for people who want to watch like a certain series, I probably own about 6 different streaming services worth of DVDs.
You do.
So for me to watch those, I need to subscribe. Fucking blah blah blah. Fuck that! I can buy the DVD for $30, and we're happy days. We move on.
We just see over here at our place, we're complete opposite. We just chucked out a whole bunch of DVDs, you know. And I didn't like to chuck them out, but I like the practicality of it is like, you know what? When am I ever going to go back to the DVD rack and pull this fucking thing out again? But then, of course, Greeno, we lost the internet for 2 weeks, and we were saying, I went straight to my wife. I'm like, hey, did you chuck out all those DVDs?
Fuck yes. Nice, Gary. That's my point. Greeno sitting here fucking looking like a champion because I got fucking DVDs and old school DVDs player. I just got VHSs, sir. I fucking got VHSs ready to go just in case of apocalypse. Yeah. Just in case we need to go old school and we can't plug in a universal DVD player. We still got to do VHS.
You know what? The apocalypse will be worth it if my family and your family can hunker down in a bunker and watch old David Letterman VHS tapes, Greeno. That'll be worth it.
Tapes. We got that, and we got a fucking back catalogue of shitty fucking movies. Where fucking we can survive for the better part of 5 years
on Beer Fest.
on Greeno's DVD collection. Me and your family just bunkered down.
We'll watch Dawson's Creek from start to finish.
Fucking oath we all. It'd be so good. And with some Buffy.
Yes. Have you got all the Buffies as well? Do you?
I've got all the Buffies. I've got that.
Buffy was a show, huh? When we were 16, it was a great time.
Fuck me, so good. We got some Larry Sanders show. We got some news radio. We got some good shit happening here. We got the Drew Carey show. We got plenty of good stuff happening here on the DVD collection here at Greeno.
Nice, Gary.
So we're going to be fine. So you want to hunker down in the starting block bunker, basically, because we're going to be living. We're going to be living like it's 1999 down there.
That's it. But laughing our fucking ass off. We'll ignore all those and we'll just watch Office Space 45 times in a row.
That's right. And Chopper, Greeno.
And Chopper. I've got Chopper too. I bought that recently on DVD.
Fantastic.
Impossible to find until literally last year. I'm like, well, I haven't been able to find it for 20 years. I spent $50 on the fucker. It was worth it. Every cent.
I think I've still got like the original. I think that's one VHS that I did hang on to was the Chopper one. And I'm pretty sure I've got it somewhere, like the original first release VHS. But
you have a VHS player though?
No. But the reason. But because the reason I can't get rid of that one is when I first moved out of home, we couldn't get anything on our television, right? We had no aerial. So I brought like an old fucking shitty, it was like a TV/video player in one hit. And I got it from a fucking caravan, right? Up on the coast somewhere. So it was this cheap little thing. And I'm like, I was going to put that in my room when I first moved out. So me and my roommate were like, I'm like, you know what? Let's just use this little fucking TV and watch a video. The only video we had was fucking the movie Chopper, which is about an Australian criminal. And, you know, I think we lived together for about a year, myself and my roomie. I think it was about a year, right? And we watched.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Well, and the whole time I was living there, we never had television reception. So
No,
all we
And
had
every
was Seinfeld videos and this one Chopper movie, which by the time I moved out, we could both recite to each other word for word the entire fucking movie because that was the only thing we had to watch for like 9 months.
And that story may seem like it's fucking made up, but
It's
I can
not.
corroborate.
I like stories about
I was
pinatas.
at that fucking house and had to watch Chopper 400 times with you guys. There was one night where, for some reason, we didn't go to the RSL.
Yep.
And your roommate goes, "Hey, look, let's go down to the VHS store, and we'll just get a couple of different movies."
Go to the video store around the corner, mate. Get some fish and
Pick
chips
whatever
while
you
we're
want.
there. It's going to be good. Yeah.
It'd be good. Pick whatever you want. And we had a movie night. And in the end, we still ended up watching Chopper. At the end of the day, we got 16 movies. It was the first time I ever watched Clerks by Kevin Smith because we got that on VHS.
Yeah,
and we watched that, and then fucking Chopper still ended up. I'm like, we've watched this fucking 400 times, boys.
Doesn't matter.
But we didn't care. It was good. It was the one RSL non-night.
There you go.
Worth every second.
Good times.
Good times. Plugs. You're doing a show tomorrow.
I am. Yeah. So 8 a.m. Sydney time if you're in Sydney. And, you know, why would you be up at 8 a.m.? I'm going to struggle to be up at 8 a.m.
Wait, what are you doing at 8 a.m.? Don't you do normally 9? Or are you just pushing it forward?
The thing is with daylight savings is, Greeno, it fucks me in the ass all the time.
But are you going to get up at 8 a.m. to fucking do a show tomorrow?
No. The show starts at 8 a.m. my time. I'll be getting up at 6 so I can do prep and stuff.
Yeah, well, you should have fucking told me. I would have wrapped this show up earlier.
Nah, it's okay. That's the price of doing business.
Yeah, fair call.
So it's 8 a.m. Oh, look, I don't mind. I'm an early riser anyway, so I only really sleep kind of 4 or 6 hours a night, and then I'll be up anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, you know, it's 6 p.m. It's 6 p.m. for our American friends' time, though, on the East Coast. But 8 a.m. for me in the morning. But that's all right. I'm a little more loose in the morning. I'm really tired now. It's Friday. It's for us, if you're listening, it's Friday night. I've had a fucking shitty week and a really stressful, shitty fucking work day as well. And I've wanted to go to sleep since about 4 o'clock this afternoon, you know. So, and it's now, what is it, 10:30, Greeno, at night?
10:30, yeah.
So
Friday
that's
night.
why these two shows have different vibes for me. Tomorrow, I'll be well rested or hungover.
Much more enjoyable for you tomorrow. Less this one we're just trying to pump out.
Pump out. No, this is enjoyable too because I'm in such a, you know, silly mood. Silly day, Greeno.
Nice, Gary.
Silly day. Yeah. All right. Well, so that's it. We're out of here. Thanks to the people who've joined us in the chat tonight. There was people in the chat tonight, Greeno. That was nice.
It would have been nice to
see you
know.
all.
Literally fucking 2 hours ago, instead of like literally asking the show, would have given a shout out.
Well, you should be watching the chat of your own fucking accord. I'm not your secretary.
I'm fucking trying to run the show here. I got run.
You're
house,
not running
look out,
anything.
look out.
I'm the one doing this.
No, mate, I'm looking at shit. The whole second segment was my fucking story time.
What do you think? Hang on. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you define as, quote, running the show. Now, what
Running
are
the
you
show
actually,
is
what would you say you do here?
Get the show moving. Fucking, we know what the segment is. I know when to fucking cut the gag.
Cut the
I know when to
gags,
fucking
yeah.
pull it off. You know?
Did you do that then? Just then? The board?
Nah.
No, you didn't.
No, fucking give me the buttons then. I'll fucking press the buttons. Send me the buttons. I'll press the buttons.
Send me the buttons. So you can't even collect the buttons. I have to send them to you.
Will that make you feel better about the buttons? I'll press the fucking buttons.
Look, you got a problem with the
sit
buttons?
there.
Don't fucking press the buttons. Send me the buttons. I'll fucking do it. What, you want to fight about it?
So check out Damo's show tomorrow morning. He'll be in a much better mood when he doesn't have to
I'm
press all the
happy
buttons.
now, you little cunt.
What a shit cunt. You get no political on me here. Check out this shit cunt.
Save me, leaf insect man.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you the truth?